Today is June 15th, 2025. It was a Sunday. I have been battling the sore throat all day, obviously, so it's been a fun one. Woke up today, I want to say 8:45 or so, 9, maybe it was 9. Yeah, it must have been 8:45 or 9, I don't even, I'm pretty sure it was 8:45 or 8:55 off the top of my head. But we had planned to have plans with Roman at 10, but it's Father's Day and he wanted to hang out with Gabe, and I'm cool with that. I did not mind. I had a great day anyways. So the goals were brush teeth, morning video log, recovery video log for Sunday, edit video logs, Roman plans at 10, and take a nap. I did take a nap. We rescheduled Roman's plans for Tuesday next week, so that'll be fun. I have not done the recovery Sunday yet or brushed my teeth, but I will do those. And I didn't do the morning video log, obviously, and I haven't edited any video logs, so I crossed that out. And, yeah, dude, it's been a day. So, played a lot of, first thing, woke up Ava, we had a good conversation with, Gabe and Toby about plans with Roman. And then, something weird on my desk, I don't know what that is. It's like a little screw or something. Oh, it's a sprinkle. That's crazy. My donut. Anyways, we had a good conversation with them. So we scheduled it for Tuesday. And then Ava went shopping with my sister-in-law, her sisters, so they could get some Father's Day presents. And then Ava had me meet them over at their house so we could open them all together, me and my in-laws. And then, so we did that, and I got this guy right here, which I think is pretty sick. It's just a Dragon Ball Z figurine, and I like Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then, I was not feeling good. I was like, I'm gonna go get some food. And she was like, oh, we should go out to dinner later. And I was like, okay, sick, that sounds great. I'm still gonna go get some food. And then I got in the car, and I was like, I don't feel good. I don't want food. So, didn't go get food for myself, but I just went home and took a nap. And then I woke up, we went on our date, and then, it was actually really fun, and then we got done with that, and we went shopping at Ross, and then, I stopped by the house afterwards, we dropped off all our stuff, and then I talked to my mom and Korey a little bit. Korey got off work, he doesn't work tomorrow, so we'll be hanging out, and then, I met Ava back at my in-laws' house. They were having a little, I called it a soiree, but it's a little barbecue. It was pretty nice, and then I was only there for a little bit. I was chilling with Daniel and Eric, and then, my mom wanted McDonald's on the way home, so I got her a fillet of fish. I got some food for Korey, and then my mom paid me back. And then I went and talked to my neighbors across the street for a little while. And I had a couple beers with them. I think they were Mike's Hard Lemonade. It was really nice. It was really good to hear about their thoughts and views on the world. And we talked about the political state of everything, and the way the political parties are, how they only attack social issues, just how weird it is. What is this? Oh, I missed some of the hair. That's what that is. I was like, why is that not moving? But, I was talking to them about that. And then, we talked a little bit about, what was it? Yeah, we talked about the economy, talked about politics. I was like, they obviously know I'm doing these YouTube things. They don't know the scope of everything, but, it's good to hear their views. We talked about abortion and stuff, and we were all raised religious, I would say Christian or Christian Christian subgenre, and we were just talking, and it was really, really nice. And I was like, it's interesting how I can tell the effects of the economy has actually affected their morals as opposed to the new generation. I think it's really, really interesting to hear and get their opinions on that and talk to them about those kinds of things. And then we were talking about Donald Trump's speeches, and we're just actually impossible to read. His speech pattern is so weird. It's the weirdest speech pattern in human history. There's never been another speech pattern like it. There will never be another speech pattern as great as this speech pattern. It's that. It's literally that, and it's everything that is important in his mind has to be said 4 times. For what reason, you know? And so we were just criticizing the regime, right? And it's like I am on a lot of online spaces or news articles, and it's really easy for me to see a lot of like right wing content and like people supporting kicking out immigrants violently, like people supporting Donald Trump having authoritarian control, people supporting those kinds of things. And I'm just sitting here like, it's good to know that that's mostly online. You know, like that doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't exist in real life. It does exist out in the world, but it's not as prevalent. You know, it's not like there. But one of the things we talked about as pertains to Donald Trump was the renaming of some of the forts. So like Fort Bragg, Fort Roberts, Fort Lee, they all got renamed. So it was like Fort Freedom, Fort Liberty, Fort Independence, whatever. And my neighbor thought it was stupid, and I was like, all right, why? And he was like, well, it's history, you know. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, Donald Trump gave a speech at Fort Bragg, and I saw about it on Facebook, and one of the guys I went to high school with was there apparently. But yeah, and then he like mentioned it in his speech. He was like, oh yeah, they renamed it, the crooked Biden administration renamed these, and we named them back, of course. But they renamed all of them except for Fort Lee to honor more modern American heroes who didn't fight for the Confederacy. And so I'm sitting here going, this is a net positive. Like, different people get honored. That's great. And then he was like, yeah, my only issue with it is I don't think they should have destroyed the statues. And I was like, okay, what would you want? And he goes, well, you got to have some kind of like place for them, like a statue zoo where people can go and like look at all the statues. And I start laughing, and we're both a little drunk. But I'm just like, dude, you talking about a museum? Like, what do you mean a statue zoo? It was really, really funny. But he was like, yeah, museum. Oh, that's such a great idea. And it was a really good time. But yeah, we were like talking about it, and this is kind of like the daily thought, is I had never once considered like transferring outdated commemoration statues and turning them into museum exhibits to retain history while still adapting to like societal and cultural change and drift. Like obviously we don't agree with what the Confederates believed in nowadays. Like it's just not realistic. But it's still a part of American history. Like there's still American people, and he's right. They do have a valid chip to bid in to be remembered and like not forgotten, at the very least, you know, not forgotten. Like their history is still valid. And so I was like, I kind of like framed it a little different because I know patriotism can be a real part of it. And I was like, okay, so like imagine you're a German. Would you say they should do the same thing to Hitler statues? And he would like kind of sat there and was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and he was like, I've never had it framed to me that way, but I 100% believe that instead of keeping for commemoration, they should be changed into remembrance and acknowledgement, because people move past it better when you remember it. And so, like, Germany, I think, is borderline immune to a fascist regime. Like, obviously, I say that 250 years will do something to a nation. But I was like, as it stands right now, I would be surprised if they ended up in another fascist regime. Be very surprised, because the majority of Germans just wouldn't allow it, you know. And I thought it was really interesting that he had mentioned a concept that I had never once thought of, and I thought that was really, really, really cool. Of just like turning statues that were meant to commemorate old time heroes into a piece of history. And I mean, museums are wonderful, dude. Like, if you could have actually interesting and cheap museums be so. Okay, I say interesting, cheap, and convenient museums, it'd be the coolest thing ever. The issue is museum prices remain cheap, but they're hard to upkeep. You know, like you have to have employees, and you know you have to have subsidies, and like if you don't have interesting stuff or people don't care, it's not going to succeed. You know, and you have to have like museum advertisements as well, or else just no one's going to know to go to the museum. Like we have a couple museums in my town, and that just aren't open anymore. They're like there, but they're not open because they weren't profitable, and it sucks. That sucks, dude. And I wish I could go in and just like make all the exhibits and like post them on my account or something, but I obviously don't know anyone who's involved with the museums. But yeah, so after this, I'm gonna make my recovery video for Sunday, and then I'm gonna brush my teeth and go pass out and hope my throat is better in the morning. I'm just gonna make some goals for Monday real quick. Let's start with some brush teeth. Let's start with some morning video log. Let's start with some upload video logs, because I think I have 4 to upload. Let's find out. No reason not to. Daily video logs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 to upload. Cool. And then let's do fold laundry. Fold towels. Let's do organize receipts. Let's do vacuum office. Let's do clean shower. Clean the shower, it's getting dirty. And I'll just do clean toilet while I'm in there. So, clean toilet. Cool. So, brush teeth, morning vlog, upload video logs. Just put an S on them. Fold laundry, fold towels, organize receipts, vacuum office, clean shower, clean toilet. Lid. I will see you all tomorrow morning, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Peace.